Well, salutations, everybody. What's crack-a-lackin'? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going spicy on this fine Monday evening? An unusual stream for me. Mondays have been a bit of a black spot when it comes down to my streams, but as a result of which we can have a bit of fun. And based on how she went for us the last time, we can continue where we started on this one and continue with what we done on Saturday with some Football Manager 26. After an interesting weekend, we've plenty to discuss, plenty to converse, plenty to enjoy. But I suppose the first thing we have to say is what's a crack-a-lackin' with everyone there. Senior Duck in for your 66th time, soon enough to end up getting into a legendary position. But how is life treating you? The joys of playing two different FMs while watching three people is something indeed, my friend. I will say it's nice to see that you're easing yourself back in to the world of FM after your 4-day hiatus, and you're not going too ham on the game now, trying to ensure that everything is grand. You know, you're taking it slow. You're taking a Connie. You're not going overboard on all of the elements that you're doing. You're just taking it nice and easy, playing two different FMs at the same time. But I suppose I should ask, which FMs is it that you're playing? And a miracle has happened in my teams, would you believe? We have some unity, because I swap people out so much that normally we don't have unity. So it's nice to see that we're getting unity. It's even more ironic since I'm not changing that front line because of how well I performed against Barcelona in the last save. So we'll see what ends up happening, where Evan Ferguson got himself a hat-trick after being berated for not scoring a load of time beforehand. But we shall see how the crack continues here. Much like in real life, we have Mason Mount performing fairly well in the position there. I have been, and those of you who have been in the stream will know, I have been a staunch upholder that Mason Mount isn't crap, like some other people have ended up stating before. I actually really like Mason Mount, and I think he's a genuinely good player when he's fit. Now, with that being said, it was a set piece. He didn't let the world on fire, but no United player let the world on fire on Sunday. But at the same point in time, you know, you win what you go to. Senior Duck showcasing an image here of him being Fjorner. I have no idea where they are, but they ended up winning or drawing 2-2 versus a game Arsenal side, where Arsenal had far more of the possession. But hey, you go what you're at. Although I call horse malarkey from you, Senior Duck. You ain't wearing the Christmas tree. Or in this particular case, the, you know, Siamese duck. But how are you finding things with Fjorn? Of the save from the Gunners. And I won the Cook Island ladies using the Flappy Bird tactic. Well, you have to send me an image of what the Flappy Bird tactic is, because I genuinely have next to no idea what you mean by that. So, funnily enough, we will be changing small elements of this game. Rashford played okay in the last game, but I think we're going to give Dogu a go versus City. And we're going to give Mbeumo a go over Ahmad. Ugarte and Bruno have been doing phenomenally well, and Stellar is still out, so I feel sorry for you, Manu, but you ain't getting onto the pitch. And De Ligt has been doing a good job, but we are going to end up swapping him with Willy Kwambwala, because Kwambwala has good effectiveness with one Isaac Zanieri. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Sorry, give us a second. Okay. So we will go with Ugarte and Bruno, Kwambwala up there. And although Dennis has performed particularly well, I think we go with Lamens instead. I was disappointed in you not streaming on the United game until you equalized and was like, here we go again. I mean, to be fair, I was watching the game because I had, unfortunately, I did have stuff on and I did need to go and do them. As I said, if I was free, I was going to be able to do it, but I had to do some meeting elements, get some stuff done, go to the game, go get all that crap done. So it was unfortunate. I would have liked to have done it. But to be fair, I think we deserved to win based on that second half performance. Obviously, blinker eyes being a United fan, but in general, I think we deserve to win based on the second half performance. I think Glasner is right to absolutely eat out his owners because that actually is an awesome. It looks like a fish. Yeah, you're right. It's Flappy Bird or a fish. Because he should have been given more funding. They have the smallest squad in England going into Europe. Now, with that being said, too, he also does have some youth that he could and should play. So he's not 100% without complaint. But with all that being said, we shall continue onwards and forthwith for the moment and continue on with one this next match versus a very, very game Manchester City. So, in we go with these small changes done. Hopefully we'll end up playing with good strength and formation and see how it ends up going. We have come off of a couple of interesting results, a draw or two that we didn't expect, that we didn't particularly want, but you put yourself back up and you continue on. The last result, getting a 4-1 win versus a very game Barcelona, ends up putting us in great standings. So we'll just hope that we can continue onwards, keep our heads up, and end up getting through to the next stages of what we need to end up having done. Manchester City are always a difficult game. It doesn't matter whether or not you are Manchester United or not. So you go in the best that you can be. Now, with that being said, we have had good runs versus Man City. So we'll see how it continues to go now. Are they making any changes? They're making a swath of changes. But to be fair, most of their changes are because they had Champions League football like we did. Now, funny enough for them, they end up getting Guirassy, who's a very good player, but I'm genuinely shocked they have him because he is 30. And they end up getting Santiago Hines, who I have no idea who he is, but his stats look fairly good. So that's not a bad old signing of depth for them. But they're coming in with the big guns. Ruben Diaz back in defense, Josko Vardiel, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Omar Marmoush, and Erling Haaland. The only one you probably end up... No, in fact, I don't think there's anyone you'd end up putting on instead. Maybe Manuel Akanji, but that's about it. Otherwise, this is probably their strongest team. I'm doing well today, thank you. Got good news that's been on hold for eons, it seems like. Well, it's a pleasure to hear that, my friend. You don't have to share it if you don't want to, but I'd be happy to hear and give you praise for the good news that you ended up getting. Any news is good news, especially when the news makes you feel like this. I understand completely, Senior Duck, but I'm glad that you got some good news. It's awesome when that ends up happening. Especially when it's at the start of the week too, because it makes everything feel better, makes you feel, grander and the whole lot. Oh yeah, the joys. Oh yeah, then keep it to yourself, my friend. You don't want to put yourself in trouble in any way, shape, and form. But let's see how we end up doing now. Who is Wapmuff? That has to be a youth player. Unless there is an actual player called Wapmuff, at which point I want to find out who that is immediately. Anyways, we get into this now and see how we do. Starting off, got an amazing bot name today. Ooh, let us know what it was, Senior Duck. So we've had one shot on targets. That's the way you want to start, at least being on target with what you're doing. Sesko running up now, passed to Dogu. Dogu loses it far too easily to Rico Lewis. Didn't even lose it, he just passed it in the wrong way. I know what was probably being attempted there was doing a wee bit of a run in to get by him, but far too easily given to... Oh! Oh, Sesko! Oh, that could have been a catastrophe for Man City. Ooh, we might rue not getting that goal. I mean, Primordial Muffler is a fantastic name. Yeah. With the extra bits to end up leaving it to its own self. But just in general, Primordial Muffler is a fantastic name. Sesko has the ball, turns around. Mbeumo bounces off of Nico O'Reilly. Evan Ferguson to Mbeumo and Donnarumma. Unbelievable play by all of the attacking team at the moment. Doing fantastic jobs. I might move you up to there, just have it a tiny bit faster. Okay. Zanrani now. Down to Ugarte. Ugarte now, and he holds it up, but... Ooh, it's the first time I've seen them pass back to the goalkeeper, which is interesting. Euro now. Hopefully he doesn't play like he did on Sunday. Euro, much to my chagrin, had a really bad performance on Sunday. So hopefully he plays well here today. Mbeumo and Mason Mount puts us in the lead. And isn't that what you want to end up happening? 5 minutes into the game, a beautiful goal for us now. In we end up going 1-0 up versus Man City. A fantastic start to the game, dominating the early proceedings now, and we continue on and see how we are able to do. Containing ourselves up, we don't particularly care about being the masters of possession. It's more important to have control of the game and be the masters of shot accuracy. But Evan Ferguson with a nice little cut off there from Nico Williams. Feint there by Bruno to Mount. Sesko, back to Bruno. And Dogu now holding it well. Dogu has been doing very good. Good to pass him by. And, ooh, Ferguson almost got another goal on his teeth. That would have been awesome for Evan Ferguson to get extra into him. So we're just assaulting the Manchester City side at the moment here in Old Trafford. We are doing brilliant work here at the moment. Willie Kwambwala taking that extra second that you don't particularly like to see, but back down to Mount goes Evan, and a bad pass by Mbeumo, but Evan gets it back for him. Mbeumo to Mount. Oh, Mount almost did it again. But Lenny Oro, we're not giving up. God, we're like hounds to a piece of meat. I'm guessing Josh Smith is the referee, if I was a betting man. Yes. I love how Donnarumma is having a 7.2, but we are lassing into them. Ooh, Mbeumo now. And Marmouche takes it off him far too easily, unfortunately. Chiarki, this is a goal. Ooh, it felt like a goal, but thankfully it wasn't. Good. Emmanuel Agate taking down one Erland Haaland, and good to end up seeing. But now we're continuing on with the aggression. Now only one shot on target, 2 shots on target. I jinxed myself. So it wasn't a perfect half. A perfect half would have been stopping them from getting any shots at all. But Dogoon and Bwemu doing good jobs there, connecting up the play phenomenally well. Our midfield sides, I don't think they're that bad. I don't think Bruno and Ugarte have had a 6.4 performance, but we do need to be careful about it. We can make the changes should we need to later on. We don't have great people to put in place for them, so we might have to deal with that. So we'll just hope that they come good and see how things end up going for now. But 1-0 up, in control of the game, good on our shot. Well, we were good in our shot accuracy. At the second half of that game, we just were kicking the ball at the net and hoping it would stick. But we'll see how things end up going. And you still shout at them saying that's not good enough. And let's go in for part 2. Bernardo Silva taken down there. Nice little tackle. But Rico Lewis is a player I absolutely love. IRL and in Football Manager. He has attributes to him that are unbelievable. I will say that green jersey they have Man City wearing is goddamn horrible. The yellow strip on the side does not look good. I haven't a clue if City's actual goalkeeping jersey is like that, because as I've mentioned before, the goalkeepers don't have the official registered jerseys. Cherky up, and Haaland. Very bad header from Haaland. I know it's saying that was close. It didn't seem it. But already, with just the start of the first half, they've tripled their XG. So we have to be careful. Okay, corner now. Ooh, they're getting well into this game. Now, at 65 minutes, we do actually need to make changes. Sadly, both Ugarte and Bruno need to be changed. Now, we only really have one person who can play there. So we're going to do something suspect, but what needs to be done. We're going to go with Manu for Ugarte. We're going to move Mount back. We're going to put Rashford as the cam. And Hoyland for Ferguson, because Ferguson is starting to get tired. So that's 3 big changes already. And we'll hope that they do something now in this and see how things end up going. Well, it's a pleasure to end up hearing that you're thinking, Senior Benny. What is your idea, if you don't mind me asking? My idea at the moment is to win this game, so wish us luck while we continue to do it. And with those changes, we shall see if we can. We probably should take off Winnie Kumbala as well, because he has the card and City seem to be attacking more. But we'll see what ends up happening here. Nico Williams to Rodri. Rodri to Marmouche. Foden, this screams goal. Senior up! What's a crack-a-lackin'? It is a pleasure to have you in. Related to what you asked me. Yep. That's unfortunate. The defenders just didn't do anything. Go on, Senior Benny. Let us know what it is. You can DM me or you can mention it here. I don't mind. I changed it today back to the old way and cancelled the embedding so it only shows one of the links to make it a wee bit nicer. But do give us a bit of advice. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. We'll see anyway. I think you're right that this is slightly better for the time being, but we'll see for the moment anyway, Senior Benny. It's not a bad idea. Up, my friend. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? How did you end up finding Survivor Series after that, or did you end up watching it? And you can measure it more directly that way. Yeah, you're damn right about it, Benny. Such a good goal by Rashford. Such a good goal by Rashford. Let's have a gawk at this again. Rasmus Højlund holding up the play at the back. Over to Mbeumo, and Rashford just there as the inside forward ready to come in and cut it through. Yeah, I'll go through it this one. I was saying, how did you find Survivor Series, my friend, if you ended up watching it? Chiarchi having their game of the life. Okay, now we are going to make 2 more changes, although they're getting their attacks. So that's concerning, but we will make 2 more changes. We're going to take Willie Kwambala off, even though he is the most fit person on the pitch there. And we're going to take a Sesko off for Cramrada. I love Dominic Mysterio so much. He's such an underrated wrestler. No. Oh, my heart was on my sleeve there. They should have scored there. That is horrible by Haaland. Bernardo Silva. It was coming. They deserved it before and they got it now. The sad thing about it is they don't deserve a draw in this game. They really don't. We haven't shown up in the second half, though, so they're going to get a draw out of our malfeasance. Oh, beautiful to hear up. What's the first thing you're going to play in it, and why is it Tetris? Nah, we're insane arseholes. Buy a laptop or a PC, and the first thing we play on it is Football Manager. Come on, guys, score. Genuinely upsetting. I should have kept Bruno and Ugarte on, even though stats-wise it was saying they were performing bad. It was containing things together, so it was a mistake for me not to bloody keep them. So... TEW is a version of Pro Wrestling Simulator, isn't it? Or something like that, isn't it? I wouldn't mind. The worst thing about that result is it just puts us a wee bit too far behind Chelsea. They're running away a bit. Now, it would have been good to get City out of the way as well, because it would have put us above City. But if Chelsea win their game, which they're more than likely going to do, it puts us a little bit out of their range. I haven't even looked into it to see what it's like putting custom league Football Manager leagues in. I know that there have been a couple of people that have been using the online saves there recently, and they've been working okay for them. So it's probably something I'll be looking into in the near future as well to doing if it works well for me. You know, I'd happily set up yeah, but I haven't even looked into doing it. So that's the thing there. Anyway, Senior Benny, how are you feeling now at the minute? I forgot to end up asking. How are you feeling? Are you getting over your flu? And if you are you streaming this evening as well? Because genuinely, it'd be awesome to see you coming back into it and having the good old time. So what do you think? Do you think you'll be good enough to stream this evening yourself? It's good to see our under 18s doing well as well. Baseball, not too bad. You can take it easy there. I saw the MLS changing to a normal season schedule. I mean, that's not surprising. He plays for Arsenal up. Sure, MLS is always on a normal season schedule, unless you're talking about the fact that, unlike what Arsenal has typically been doing, there he's actually becoming a full-time player and not just a squad player rotating off of the bench so that he get his typical 36 games within a season. That would be understandable. But yeah, MLS is getting a normal season schedule. Yeah. It's nice to see. It's good to see. McKenna. Oh, Kieran McKenna is the manager of Bournemouth, and he is going to lose to Arsenal, so that's not going to be fun for them. I mean, it is an upgrade to get to Premier League side, so yeah. So let's see, did Chelsea get their win? No, Chelsea drew. Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So Chelsea drawing doesn't put them completely out of the realms of possibility. How long do you have left in your contract? 2030, it is 2026. Cunha.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
Okay, so I don't care if the squad is unhappy about it. They can piss off. And who is it exactly that's unhappy? Cunha himself, which makes sense. Dogu, Shaw, okay. I don't care what ye think, to be honest. I wish there was an option to say he has 4 years left. I wish there was an option to say on this. He has 4 years left on his goddamn contract. Live with what he has until it's closer to the time. Whatever. I don't care if it gets me sacked. Piss off. I don't know what save to do on PC. Maybe San Mariero. I mean, you could always do Gimpo and end up doing exactly what Benny was doing, but do it better. Do it in less than 7 seasons. Would that be one of your favorite FM saves, Benny? Your Gimpo save, because you do seem to end up talking good about it whenever you end up playing about it. Yeah. Yeah, back when we found out that the Miles group was part of was practically the owners of the MLS. While I was in the middle of talking to Fionn McCool in Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's nice to see more Irish rhetorics being used too. But yeah, good old times that. Not who the hell would end up disrespecting Van Dijk? Although Real Madrid, it's not shocking that Real Madrid would want him. I wonder if that's. I don't want them, but I wonder if they'd sell them to us. I know in real life, this is a player that is in discussions to be looked at in the Premier League. I know City are meant to be looking at him. I know those rumors that Spurs are meant to be looking at him. I know phenomenally little about him. I just hear there's good things about him. The other scary thing, too, if you want to end up going down the grapevine and listening to a load of horse crap, is Elliot Anderson has started following Man City. So that could be a sign of where he might be going in January or in the summer. Van Disney. Oh, God damn it. I mean, you have your heights in centimeters. My height, like my like IRL height, or the heights of my CMs. Because I can get it for you if you want up. On the game. I haven't looked at them, but I can have a look at them after this. Ooh, okay. Game's frozen. Give us a second. Okay, good. Just takes a second for it to load. Happy out, and we can continue on. Honestly, it was set that way and I didn't change it. I actually prefer feet because I don't know centimeters at all. So now that you mention it, if it's easy to change, I'll change it. Literally, I just didn't bother changing it because I didn't look to see where it was. The only thing I changed was euros because I know euros. Where do you go to change that? Accessibility preferences? No, it's not accessibility. Do you spot it or am I blind as a bat? Detailed wages weekly Celsius. There we go. 2 feet. Cool. Thank you for that, Senior Up. It helps quite significantly. As I remember when I was playing this game and I was looking at Enric. Enric is only 5'9", and I didn't recognize what that was in centimeters, so it took me quite a while to figure that one out. Literally the first thing I did on myself. I very rarely look at the height, and I really should. But the only position to me where height properly matters is attacking. Because otherwise, I think height is pretty much always sorted out by set piece control. So you can just send over that attacking player that's really, really tall into the position and just continue on that way, you know? So it's very rare I actually look at the height parameters of players and end up checking them out. I know it's useful, I just very rarely do it. You're not having fun at the moment. In the words of Lois Griffin, this does not brew joy. Come on, hurry up and process game. Height only affects jumping reach potential. Really? Yeah. So, and I suppose if your jumping reach is bloody 20 anyway, it doesn't really matter. You'll probably almost reach the same areas anyway. Again, I don't know. It's not a stat I've ever bothered looking into. Okay. And course. So, like a 5'6" player will never have a 20 jumping reach. Okay, interesting. That's fair, to be honest, as well. His jumping reach might be capped at like 10, unless you're editing jumping reach. That's 100% fair. Again, the player that I ended up getting in 24 was the 6'3" bloody Irish goalkeeper. And I think his jump reach was something like bloody 15 or something like that. It wasn't massively high, but it was high enough. I did see someone who posted up on a Facebook. Someone that posted up on a Facebook football manager scene that they ended up getting someone out of their youth intake that was already 3 stars, which was interesting. And they probably ended up editing that, but I wonder if it is possible to get a youth intake that's just crackerjack nuts. I've never had a crackerjack nuts youth intake. Jason O'Connor was the most nuts one I've ever seen, and he was just 2 stars, to be fair. But like he was bonkers. Did I show this Aussie wonder kid I tried to sign? You did, but didn't you say that, was this your, this wasn't the save, maybe I'm getting you mixed up with Duck either. I know you've shown me an Aussie wonder kid, but I know that, one of the two you were trying to sign a player who was basically double the size, his asking wage was basically double the amount of the club's entire wage bill. If I was a betting man right here, right now, the title matches at Mania up are Cody Rhodes, and I don't agree with these, by the way, but the title matches at Mania are Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Now, you will notice that I state that still thinking the winner of the Royal Rumble is Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's going to win the Rumble. I don't think he makes it to Mania. If I'm honest. He declined me on the club's rep, and I'm trying again, trying to loan him in. Interesting. Hey, hopefully it works out for you, my friend. Now, after that, not shambolic performance, but bad performance, we are going to go a little bit different this time. And by a little bit, I think we're going to go a fair bit. We're going to go Camrata and Victor. We are going to change Mount, and we're going to change him for Cunha, even though Cunha is pissy at the moment. We are going to... God, he's injured. When did he get injured? When did Doggo get injured? Okay, well, we'll put you there for now. And we will swap you with... The obvious answer is Rashford, but let's see. I mean, we could go with Ennis. Kills him? No. I mean, it could be an option that Braun ends up taking out... it could be an option that Braun ends up taking out Sammy. But I think it is significantly more likely that Braun wins the Elimination Chamber to get CM Punk, and see basically the story of that will be CM Punk trying to avoid Braun for the entirety of the time that the build up to that match is coming along. That would be more my cup of tea as to what they're going to end up doing, but anything can end up happening, as you know yourself. So it's hard to effectively say how they're going to end up doing it. Personally, if it was me, I would make Braun win the Royal Rumble. But I think, considering it's a Saudi Rumble, they almost have to go with Sami Zayn. It's a Saudi Rumble, so you kind of have to go with Sami Zayn, is my viewpoint of it. Now, obviously, they don't, but I think they do, if you get me. Swap you there, and then go Aiden Heaven. And then do we risk it? Do we risk it for a biscuit? Do we risk it for a biscuit and go slightly too weak on our back line? I think we do. I think we risk it for a biscuit. I think we risk it for a biscuit and we go with this. And Gallo's not back yet. Yep. So I think we risk it for a biscuit and we go with this. I don't really care who they choose as long as it's interesting. Like, some people see them do something and immediately complain. I just want to see something interesting like Drew. It would be nice if Drew done something nice. I genuinely think one of the big problems with WWE at the moment is people are turning around saying it's all flash over substance, and they're kind of right in a way. It isn't as substantial as it was before. The War Games wasn't needed. War Games plans were ruined, and by the way, this is one of the things that should never be done. You should always have the advantage match, but you should always have the advantage match, but the heels should never lose it because it screwed the women match. Not that the women match wasn't good anyway, but it did screw the women match. Anyways, for now, let's continue onwards and forthwith. This is the team we have set up. Bournemouth are not a weak team. I know it's Kieran McKenna, and I know they're 17th. I know this could be the game that gets him sacked, which goes slightly against what I'm saying in terms of their weakness, but they're not a weak team, so we do actually have to be a little bit careful with them. So, let's wish us a bit of luck now once she actually loads and we can go back and actually start the game. There we go. Well, the transfer budget's 76 million quid and haven't spent any of it. Yeah, like they still have Semenyo there, they still have Havertz there, still have Luis Senya there. So they have been in a bad run of form, but we'll see what ends up happening. I know we're gone slightly weaker, but we should be good. So let's get into the fray and hope we do well. So give us a bit of luck now and see how things end up going. Now, is that player you're trying to get loaned, Senior Benny, in your FM23 save? Or is that a personal save you're doing yourself? Okay. Yep. Preparing the game now, and we'll see how we end up doing. So it was interesting this weekend as well. Did any of you actually end up watching the football games this weekend? Because even though they won their game versus West Ham, and I'm sorry to say this, Benny, West Ham are goddamn shambolic. And Lucas Paqueta's a feckin' idiot. Even though they lost their game to West Ham, I don't think Liverpool looked good. I think not that crisis mode needs to be put into effect, but I do think they're still not in a great position. I do think there is a bit of worry to be put down for Liverpool at the moment. But Isak getting his first goal is definitely a benefit to them. A significant benefit to them. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Yeah, that's slightly better there. Oops, no. Joys of making some editations to some new bits of the stream to fit them a wee bit better. So they still have Lewis Cook, who I've always been fairly high on, even though he's 29 now in this particular save. And then Alex Scott, who is... I'm actually surprised, IRL, the amount he has gone underneath the radar. Like, everyone is talking about Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson and... well, there is one other in the Premier League as well, but like the likes of Edison and stuff, Baleba and Carlos Baleba. But like, I genuinely think, and maybe this is rose-tinted glasses on liking the player, I genuinely think Adam Scott should be considered as well. I genuinely think he's a good player. Maybe not to the level of them. Maybe he's a bit more raw than both of them. But I genuinely think there's a good player in Adam Scott. Alex Scott, not Adam Scott. And then Havertz is a very good player as well, if only for the fact that he is, old-ish. But Ben Dokes, too, the former Liverpool player, is a potential star in the making as well if things go well for them. Bournemouth have done very well on their recruitment. Which is one of the reasons why I found it funny on Talk Sports today when they were on about what Oliver Glasner was saying about Newcastle not doing anything for them. Like, and them calling Richardson a hypocrite for saying that Oliver Glasner was right to say what he said. at least the likes of Bournemouth are giving back to the club, but they're not spending all that they've ended up selling, but they don't need to. They've just spent some of it. Newcastle are doing none of it. Like, they made 60 million quid profit and didn't bother their arse to, or not Newcastle, bloody Crystal Palace. They made 60 million profit of Eze and didn't bother their arse to spend a dime of it. Anyways, after a disappointing draw versus a game City in the second half, a game that we threw away when we were 2-0 up and in complete domination. Let's see if we can, here at the Bournemouth Stadium, end up getting a victory now. Or will they come and bite us on the arse? Newcastle have wasted so much, and yet they ended up doing well against Everton. Like, the funny thing when it comes down to Newcastle is it's not that they've wasted so much, it's that, funnily enough, they can't deal with the pressure. Europe is killing them, rotting them from the ground up. They need more quality in there. I am of the opinion that Eddie Howe isn't that good of a manager. I have been of that opinion for a couple of years. Oh, fuck off. That's really light. That's really light. That's insanely light. Ah. Go on. 1-0 up. Oh, the men saved. Unbelievable. I wasn't expecting a save. But with Newcastle, it's interesting. Like, Newcastle are one of the few teams in the Premier League that are good versus a low block. So, it's interesting that type of way. But at the same point in time, they need an awful lot of players to click. This season, Livramento hasn't been playing to the standards you'd expect. Of course, he scores now. Anthony Elanga obviously needs to do more since being signed. Wolverhampton has been doing fantastic for them. But, there's a couple of players that are doing bad. It's nice that Thaw has actually started to get good, because Thaw is genuinely a good player, and we'll see what ends up happening. Only 15 games, 6 teams, so the league is very tight. Does that mean you play wait, okay, interesting. But top goes into the OFC Champions League. So how many, if the 6 teams you play, oh yeah, that makes sense. Alanga's a waste, Ramsey's a waste, Weza's a waste. Well, let's be fair. Weza hasn't played yet. He's been injured, so we can't say Wes is a waste. We haven't really seen him. Average, my friend. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? It's going okay. We drew against City, which was concerning, and we're after letting away a very easy goal versus Camrada. After letting a very easy goal go in against Bournemouth here, and we haven't succeeded on our chance, so we'll see what ends up happening. I'm concerned that we mightn't get back into this game, and I hope that we do. But in general, life is treating me well. It's a good Monday. Start of the last month of the year, so we'll see what ends up happening. God, that was a horrible corner. Mbuemo to Cunha. And again, good defensive work there. We're not able to get the tap in. I like Thaw. I'm shocked AC Milan let him go away. They spent 65 million on him and he hasn't kicked a ball for them. Yeah, but that's the same thing as the Roman Lavia situation. You can't judge the player until they come back. Like, Chelsea spent, almost 80 million on Roman Lavia or something like that. And you can judge him now because he's been back half a season. But you didn't see him, so you have to be fair and give him time. It's the same reason why I don't want to be too mean on Mason Mount, because Mason Mount, again, United bias to be fair, but Mason Mount hasn't been given too many minutes because since we signed him, he's been injured. So there does come a point where the injury threshold becomes too much of a problem, but Weza hasn't been with Newcastle long enough for the injury to be a concern. He was literally signed this summer and then immediately got injured. That's just unlucky. So we'll see what he ends up doing. But Anthony Elanga needs to do significantly more. And there's a player in Anthony Elanga. So we'll see what ends up happening. What the fuck do we do? Well, Camrada gets turn. Well, okay, so we make those 2 changes anyway. Mount here and Sesko on for Camrata. And I guess that's what we go with for now. They also paid 3x what they originally bid. For which one? Wizza or Alanga? Because to be fair to Newcastle, when it came down to Wizza, they got raked across the coals because they raked Liverpool across the coals and they needed a player. They went for the wrong player, mind you. They could have went into Europe and found a better player, but they went for a Premier League proven player and he just got injured, so they got unlucky. So, like, you know, there's leaps and balances on that one. I have 207 Ladies Nations, all fully playable. That sounds incredible, Duck. The joys of that. Good man, glad you're well. Finished my first season in stream today. Finished 5th. I have managed to sign some really good players, so hopefully I'll complete the treble challenge next season. It's a hard challenge to do, my friend Average, but fair play to you for getting into a position where you have the potential to do it. And just continue at it, my friend, and hopefully you'll end up getting through the challenge as you need to end up doing. And please do post when your stream is live in the Discord link that's pinned above there. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'll try my best to come in and view it at some point if I can, because I want to, as best I can, spread the love. Need an NASA for that computer. To be fair, Duck is used to games that take 4 days to load a season. I don't know why he does it, but come on, above my score. God, what was that shot? Oh, these arseholes are going to get a win on us, and they'll... When we're down, Mason Mount! Speak of the devil, give him some praise, and all comes delicious. Bad defensive work by them, too. And ironically, Scott, partially the reason, does a clearance, Godot straight to Mbeumo. Mbeumo walks down the side there, passes it down to Mount, who controls it really, really well, and just goes to the side of Petrovic. And our first shot on target is a goal, which is beautiful. Let's see if we can get another one, because we need it. We have time. Saxton to heaven. Back to Lamens. I got the editor so I can add myself to a club whenever I want, because I CBA doing job interviews and the bloody breast conferences that you have to increase your chances of a job in the future. Nice, and Ratford's after scoring as well, so beautiful, we're in the lead. I do know that FM released a patch there recently where they had done more updates to the editor. The in-game one in specifics. So I don't know if it's more usable to easy to use or stuff like that. I haven't been using it. I won't lie, and it's not because of FM26. It's because of my time frame. I haven't been playing as much FM26 as I was playing around with FM24. But I don't have a problem with the game. I still don't recommend anyone buy it. But yeah, no, Beckett, at least you're able to add yourself in. And what's your plan with the women's save you're doing? Is it to just continue to grow until you get to a particularly big club, or what is it? Oh, Petrovic with a really good save there. I have it so my well, I don't know what that means. May as well use it. Okay, I was wondering. I thought you meant that as a word or something like that. That was our first shot that we didn't score, by the way. That was on target. So, if you average do, oh, God damn it, guys! I guess I should have remembered.
Shut up!
Don't you forget, you ain't won yet.
God damn it! I wouldn't mind. He's had a good game all day. A horrible save attempt. Dry shite. I love that clip so much. Chief Wiggum is unbelievable. Although I don't know how to feel about the fact that it's been revealed that he's Irish. Ooh. Come on, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We can't lose this bloody game. A draw is bad enough. Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Oh. Okay, we need to do something. Game, pause. Pause. Game. Oh, wonderful. Let me pause. Okay, let's just hope something works out. So, Ferguson for Rook and Bruno for Manu, and hope that's enough. Because I think they're going to score, unfortunately. Yep. I hate this game. Genuinely, like, fuck off. Like, that's me getting FM'd to the maximum degree of being FM'd. That's unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. We've been shite in this game. And that's our that loss is our title challenge done. At least we're in the top 4 position, and so now we're fighting for Champions League football, but like, that's atrocious. You're not allowed to do silent end of game. Oh, you are? Okay, I was wondering. Or maybe you're not. God, I don't want you to crash after me losing. People will legitimately be thinking I'm fixing. Gonna start in Oceania, then go alphabetical per continent, then move up in quality. Next is Asia, Africa, North America, South America, and finally Europe. Then go to the men's game. And will you do it all again in the men's game? Is that the idea, Duck? And do you have all of the men's game? Do you have all of the men's game loaded as well? So you have 222 female leagues loaded and men's leagues at the same time. That has to be a... Got hit with ads just as you were mentioning my name. What to say? No bother. That's absolutely perfectly fine. Average. I was basically saying, what's the plan after you potentially get the treble? Do you have any intentions? What's the intention afterwards? Will it just move to another league? Will it be start a brand new save? Is it to continue with the one that's going ahead? If it does go well, what's your plan afterwards? Al, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin'? As a king, all I can do is hats off to you, my friend. How's life treating you? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going delicious? I mean, there's no point speaking the obvious, Al. Absolutely none. Of course, as we remember, just as you are the sexy king, I am. I can't do that with ladies as the game crashes when I try to do, so I've all loaded. Fair enough. It's annoying that it ends up doing that. That should... Oh, God, I'm no. This is one where I storm out. You came in, Al. Like, I'm doing well. It's a good Monday. Happy to be at this. I don't normally end up getting the chance to do a stream on a Monday because I have things that end up making me busy on a Monday. But today it ended up falling true and I was able to end up doing this. So everything ended up being grand, which I'm happy with because it gets me to have a good bit of fun with ye. But unfortunately, it has been a catastrophic stream thus far. We have drawn to Man City in a game that we definitely should have won, and we have lost to Bournemouth in a game where we didn't show up. So the wonderful joys of that. Otherwise, I suppose Weekend-wise, it left me in a good mood. Manchester United fan, so we scraped a victory from the jaws of defeat against Crystal Palace. Thank God they have him backed, and as a result of which we're tired in the second half, and we were able to take control of that. It also helped us insanely good that I can never pronounce his name right. Emmanuel Saw ended up having to go off injured. It made such a massive difference, and anyone who says that it didn't is a liar. To us as well, that it ended up working out particularly well for us. And then on top of that too, Tottenham Hotspurs lost again, and I'm never not going to be happy seeing Tottenham Hotspurs lose. Although I will say Thomas Frank coming out and blaming the fans for booing at Vicario after doing such horrific displays is very funny. Whether or not it's something you should do is interesting, but hey, to each their own. Move to a new save. Not sure yet what challenge to do. Maybe start unemployed and try to move my way up to a club and win the UCL in 10 seasons. That's a very good deal. Average. If it's fixed, and I haven't checked, and I don't think Sir Benny knows yet, if it's fixed, I would definitely recommend doing the MLS. It's something completely different and has, you know, the salary cap, has the trading structure, has all of that elements that you normally wouldn't end up dealing with. So it gives you a completely different idea of what you're doing. So don't throw that away as a potential option as well. Just hope international game being manageable if and when they add it isn't a separate game mode. They've confirmed it's a separate game mode at Duck. They've confirmed it's a separate game mode, at least for this game. Like, they've confirmed that. Unless I bloody read that press release wrong, they've confirmed the international game as a separate mode. If it is, I'm not buying FM until I can manage both club and international at the same time. Well, fair enough, but to my understanding, it's being included specifically for the World Cup, around the World Cup, as an extra game mode known as World Cup mode. So I don't even think you're going to be able to do the regular international management. I think you're literally just going to be able to manage the World Cup, which is but we shall see. We shall see. I don't get and that type of crap. I'm not giving any rope to SI. I'm not giving them any rope and actually doing something competent. Fair play to them if they do, but I'm not doing it. I like doing both when I'm building up a league. I do too. Like I done like when in our FM24 save when we were doing it, I had Portugal when I ended up winning the quadruple with Liverpool. United supporter won the quadruple with Liverpool. Yeah, I'm sick of myself. I won the World Cup with them as well, so I literally had the perfect year as a manager. I just like doing it. Spursy-wursy, the Vicario is so bums. I have said that for years, though. Like, Vicario was better. I don't even remember who their manager was, or who their goalkeeper was. Vicario is better than who they had before him. But they do need an improvement on him, which is unfortunate. I don't think it's the most important position they need. Ironically, I think what Spurs need is a captain. Now, it's also very, very obvious the person that captains that squad is James Maddison, so him being out for a season is bloody horrific. And it doesn't help that Thomas Frank is playing the most crap brand of football you've ever seen in your life for some weird reason. I think I found 3 new clips to create and put on as channel point or bit redemptions. Who knows? I might need to try scamming you more and change some of those channel points to bits. But time shall tell. Maybe if I change the max for Stappen to bits, I might actually get some money. I'm kidding, by the way. Yeah, no, MLS, I haven't done it myself. Sir Benekage would speak the world of it. He's done a save of it himself. MLS definitely is a way to go if it is fixed. I cannot tell you if it is fixed or not, though. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it was Hugo Lloris. Oh, then in that case, it was significantly worse. Yeah, no, Hugo Lloris is a fantastic goalkeeper. I know he was old. I thought that someone in between Hugo Lloris and Vicario. I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't. Interesting rate on the Craic streams. Games got... What? Interest rate? Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were saying. Yeah. Interest rates are going through the roof, my friend. But I suppose it is a way to ensure I show up more often. Get more surprise Monday streams. Yeah, it was an Italian guy then, Vicario. Fair enough. Yeah, it is something they need to improve. I don't think they're the worst club in England for goalkeepers at the moment. For me, currently at the moment, the club that needs a goalkeeper, the absolute worst, is Chelsea. I legitimately think a goalkeeper and a striker is stopping them from winning the league. And the striker isn't even the most important bit of that. It's the goalkeeper, in my opinion. Now, I don't like Trevor Chalobah, but I can't say anything bad about Trevor Chalobah because he's literally the reason they didn't lose yesterday. You know, like Reece James, injury-prone Reece James and Trevor Chalobah literally saved their asses after Moise Caicedo just became a goddamn idiot. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with them. Also, here's an interesting kettle of fish. The AFCON has announced, well, certain members of the AFCON have announced their teams for the event. And Cameroon have announced the players that are playing for them. And Mbeumo is there, as you would expect. But in quite a shocking turn of events, Cameroon's starting goalkeeper is not part of the team. And I'll give you 2 cents if you can figure out who I'm on about. Well, not 2 cents. I'll give you 2 internet cookies. I'll give you 2 internet cookies if you can figure out who I'm on about. That's a shout. That's a shout and a half there. Carlos Camani. Nope, that's not who I'm on about. It's... what was going on? My mum called me. Oh, okay. I was on about the fact that some of the teams of the AFCON have announced their squad. And in particular, Cameroon have announced their squad. And Cameroon have obviously brought up Mbeumo, because of course they have, which, you know, if they hadn't, it would have benefited us. But they've brought up Mbeumo. But they've also done something rather interesting. Cameroon haven't brought up their starting goalkeeper, which is very, very interesting. And I was saying, have you any idea who their starting goalkeeper is? And why I might be bringing up this random non sequitur. Yes, it's Onana. Yes, it's Onana. Onana hasn't been picked. So literally they've dropped their starting goalkeeper. I mean, that literally does not bode well for Onana. I mean, his future's already in doubt, mind you, but that really doesn't bode well for the poor fool. Like, it really, really doesn't. Like, I feel sorry for Onana in a way, because I genuinely think there's a decent player there, but just a decent player, which is the sad, 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 sad truth of Onana. It's just a decent player. He's nothing great. And, yeah, like, It breaks my heart a bit to have to say that. Because I like him. I personality-wise and the whole lot, I genuinely think he's a grand player. He's good. He's good-hearted. He's well-meaning and the whole lot. But Christ, is he a liability? I'm going to tell you players' stats and a little about him, and you try and guess who he is. Go on ahead. I'll give it a go. I'm not the best at that type of stuff, but I'll give it a go. We're going the full hog, by the way. So we're going with... Angelo's not back yet, so we're going Ugarte and Bruno again and hoping that this works. Okay. So this is the squad we're going with. Evan Ferguson, Victor Ruch. We're changing Cunha for Mount. And once this save is done. Mount, Ahmad, Rashford, Ugarte, Bruno, Yoro, Delict, Ilya, sorry, and then Lamens. So let's see how we end up doing versus Newcastle. We badly need a win. This has been a very bad run of form in the last 2 games. We badly need this win going into an incredibly hard run of form of games. But wish us some luck now. Once she loads, we go in. I think the one thing about the Chelsea game, by the way, that it showed us is Arsenal are screwed versus a park the bus team. Arsenal are screwed against a team that doesn't tackle them, that doesn't actually attack them. A team that sits back and waits for the opportunity, a team that sits back and pressures them in. If Victor Gyökeres isn't on the pitch, causes Arsenal a world of bloody trouble. 3 footballer of the year, 6 trophies in Turkey over 6 years, 7 trophies in Brazil, 2 Copa Americas in Brazil, and 1 under 20s championship. That's actually not a bad shout, Duck, Emery can, but I don't think it is. If it's hardly what the hell is his name? I know him as Alex. Crap. Because he played with Fenerbahce and he's one of their club icons. Alex, it's De Souza, isn't it? It's Alex De Souza, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know much about him. I actually didn't follow that much about him, but I've heard that tale before. The only reason I know about him is because I heard him mentioned when I was looking up Wilfried Zaha and his exploits in Turkey. Also, by the way, Dominic Solanke and Lisandro Martinez. Martinez will probably come back and bite us in the arse. You know, Rolandino said he was the best teammate he ever played with. Yeah, but players are weird. Players are weird. Wayne Rooney played with Scholes, Gerrard, and Lampard and said that the best passer of the ball that he ever had was Roy Keane. Now, Roy Keane was a hell of a passer, but when you play with all 3 of them and say Roy Keane is the best of the passers, I love Roy Keane, but he isn't up to them on bloody passing. Scholes is a better passer than Roy Keane. At least I think so. Maybe it's an arguable point. I don't think so, though. Kane, who's the best player of all time, Moussa Dembele. I mean, I kind of stand with Simon Jordan on it being Georgie Best. Like, I mean, it's either George Best or Pele. Zuma, why'd you kick your cat? Come on, man. Don't be so mean to Kurt Zuma. But I'm kind of the opinion that it's George Best. I mean, it's either Pele or George Best. I know everyone now will end up looking at Ronaldo and Messi, and it could be either the two of them, but it probably is either Pele or fucking George Best. And for me, it's George Best. Fair play, Katie. What a way to make an introduction. I mean, to be fair, yeah, we shouldn't be talking about kicking cats. I mean, that's what I think anyway. Katie, my friend, what's a crack-a-lack with you? It's a pleasure to have you in, my friend. God, I need to fix that bloody graphic. I don't know why it's doing that. But it's a pleasure to have you in, my friend. How is life treating you at the moment? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going delicious? I love how your introduction today was being mean to someone else, even if it is an accurate level of mean. No! Oh, okay, good. Yes! I love having Katie here. Katie's a good bit of crack. Meanie face. Oh, it's like a red card. I missed it. We should win this now, hopefully. But how did your weekend end up going, Katie? Did you get up to anything extravagant and fancy? Or were you just like me and ended up bloody rotting into a chair? Although I did get my 10,000 steps in each day. Who got it to Bruno? Bruno! Ferguson should have done better with that. I know that was coming with speed, but still. Although if you want to talk about players, like Kurt Zuma obviously ended up doing bad, but if you want to talk about players with bad reps at the moment that are playing unbelievable and it makes it awkward for people to talk about them, I love the fact how technically the top goal scorer in Europe. Actually, let me just second check this before I say it. Because he's either first or second, and I think he's first. Or maybe I'm just completely wrong and heard something and I was just being told misinformation. Give me a second. Oh, it's not that he's the top goal scorer in Europe. It's just that he's the top goal scorer in the French league. Yeah, so he's only 2 off of it though. But Mason Greenwood is playing unbelievable. Ronaldo is my uncle, by the way. I forgot to say. How does it feel to be to have R9 as your uncle? And tell me, did you end up having the haircut as well? At the moment, funnily enough, when I searched it up there, it's saying that Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, and Kylian Mbappe are all joint top scorers at the moment with 14 goals apiece. Thankfully, I've never been daft enough to wear that goddamn haircut. Also, Mount has scored 3 goals in 3 games. I mean, it's a daft haircut, to be fair. I mean, I go out with these. So like, I'm willing to go out looking odd. So like, I go out with these. So. Also, to be fair, as we've seen, I'm wearing a OTC hat as well. So, like, you know, I am willing to look a wee bit odd. I genuinely don't give a shit. Like, one of the things I typically end up doing is I adore it, although you do in where I am from get weird looks, is I adore going out wearing a suit. Yeah, the amount of bloody hair product I have purchased in order to try and make myself look decent. Like, legitimately, the only reason why my hair is like this is I'm doing a concerted effort at the moment to grow my hair long because I want to see what it's like. As I'm losing weight, I want to end up growing my hair long and potentially make myself look more buff, more rough. And once my hand is back to normal states, to be another addition to the stream, which is a sub counter and bit counter for push-ups. I plan on adding that in. Obviously, as a just complete opposite. No one ever has to bloody fill them in. But yeah. I mean, to each their own. I always thought the R9 haircut looked daft beyond belief, but happy out if you enjoyed it. Yeah, original Tribal Chief, yeah. Yeah, original Tribal Chief. To be fair, though, look at that design. Oh, sorry, it's YTC, so it's your Tribal Chief. But it's a very good design. And, like, it's an O as well, so it's both. It's a very well-designed hat. I like the having long hair in semi-hide my fatness. I mean, in my particular case, I'm bloody massive. Although I'm back at boxing now. I'm back at the gym every day. I'm getting my 10,000 steps in today. Like today at the moment, I have 13,000 steps done. So happy out, you know, trying to get them in a day because that's one of the integral ways to end up losing weight if you want to end up losing weight. Also beautiful that Evan Ferguson scored the goal. To be honest, it was all for a laugh, and it was a good take, and didn't take long to go out. 13k well in boss. I mean, yeah, and to be fair, Al, like, I worked in, and I can't mention too much about it, but I worked in a school for a couple of years as a master of duty. So, like, in the boarding aspects of that, and I cannot mention much about it or anything about it at all for legal reasons for the kids and the whole lot. But I watch them walk around with the worst mullets you'll ever see in your life. So what some people think looks daft, other people looks incredible. Like a mullet with the sides of your hair cut is horrible. Horrible. Now, with that being said, too, I also had hair that could almost come back to the back of my neck with both the sides and the back cut. So I am not a person who can talk. Matty, my friend, what is a crack-a-lackin'? It is a pleasure to have you in. You were one of the reasons why we are all addicts. What a goal! What a chip, what a goal. I love chips. It's one of the reasons why I'm so fat. But how are you doing today, my friend? Funniest thing I ever saw was someone who was a former sailor was drunk with a load of old buddies, and they got him a tattoo of an American flag flicks with a Union Jack. You know, funnily enough, I'm surprised there actually isn't a version of that for when England tried to invade, like in an alternative universe. I'm surprised there hasn't been an artistry creation of that specifically. And maybe there is, but specifically for an alternative universe where England actually took over America. So he could just turn around and say that he's from an alternative universe. He was a college substitute teacher. He showed us the tattoo in all class, dude. I mean, that's the good thing about it. No matter what ends up happening, just live with your decisions. If you don't like them, then that's sound, but like, have confidence in yourself. Like, the really good thing about it is confidence breeds attractiveness, so you can make the dopiest of shite look beautiful if you wear with confidence. The dopiest of crap. Like, genuinely speaking, I think face tattoos look horrible. Horrible. But if you see a person walk with swagger, walk with intensity, even suited and booted, wearing a face tattoo, they look incredible. That almost make you want to do it. And the primest example is in wrestling. I adored Edge and the stupid leather trench coat. I would adore it, and I would go around wearing a leather trench coat if I could. The stupidest of crap looks good when you wear it with confidence. The whole thing about it is just have confidence in whatever the hell you end up doing. I mean, 11,000 steps is beautiful as well, Al. That's rhetorical, by the way. Did I see they came out with an update today or something? Matty, they did. The update today was specifically orientated around the in-game editor. Now, I haven't looked at it. I don't know what they did, but it was something to do with the in-game editor. And general improvements of reliability. With that being said, the game, ironically, is less reliable for me today than it was on Saturday. So, But to be fair, I'm also streaming on another service that I wasn't streaming on Saturday. So maybe it's the pressure that's going on my computer. But I'm doing good, Matty. As I've stated to everyone there, I'm a happy camper because United picked victory out of the jaws of defeat. Are they? I'm actually shocked they're adding shouts back in because that's a showcase that Mike is willing to go back on his word. Because he said the reason they removed is because he hated the system. So that genuinely, I'm surprised by that. That they've said they're doing that. I mean, yeah, Adam Copeland, Edge, still wrestling. I love him. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. I mean, my favorite is The Undertaker, but still. But genuinely, the shouts is just, like, the shouts don't do anything, but they make you feel like you're more involved in the match. I think one of the things I'd like them to do, too, is give you more of an idea of the reaction that the players will have to what you say as well. As you get to know the players, give you a percentage or something like that on how you know, you know? I mean, as you can see with today, Duck, it is for me too. That's the reason why I'm going a wee bit slow. We've had a couple of instances there where it seemed like it was going to crash or something like that. It's laggy for me today too. So maybe it's something they did in the update. Maybe it's not just on me. I figured it was just a me thing. Like at the moment, this is lagging galore after me clicking the exit game. So we'll see. Yes, but at the end of the day, a victory is a victory is a victory. We grasped a victory out of the jaws of defeat. Now, let's be fair, Matty. We were played off the park in the first half. But for 30 minutes of that second half, we were by far and away the better team. Only problem is we looked like we couldn't score a goal if we were in a whorehouse. Genuinely. That was our biggest problem. With that being said, Xerxes' goal was a very good goal, and in the same way that it happened for Isak, that could be very good for Xerxes, because his major problem is he's been 3 months. You bastard. He's been 3 months without game time, so it'll get him a wee bit of match sharpness, and for strikers, goals are everything you need. So for him, that's brilliant. The player I am more happy for, and the player I need to keep fit, is Mason Mount. I know he wasn't the best player on the pitch in any way, shape, and form, but I really like Mason Mount. I really think Mason Mount is doing well. I have a bone of contention that people won't agree with me on this. I think that at the moment, the squad that I would be playing with Benjamin Šeško injured is Senny Lemons, and going to take into consideration the fact that Martinez played. So I'm going to put Martinez down as available, okay? So the team I would end up playing And this is how I would do it with with Benjamin Sesko injured and Matthias Cunha injured. Let's put this down as the fact. I would go Lemens, Euro. Now he needs to perform good. He performed shite on Sunday, but let's be fair. Euro, Delict, Martinez, Shaw, Mbeumo, Casemiro, Menu, Bruno, Mount, and Xerxes. That's what I would do. For me, at the moment, I drop Ahmad. I don't think Ahmad is playing good either. I think the problem with that midfield isn't Casemiro. I think it's Bruno. I think Casemiro is performing actually fairly good this season. But, hey, again, this could be bias and the whole lot on it. But we'll see what ends up happening. The one good thing about it is he has potential. I wish it would have been Bruno and Mbeumo in those two with Manu where Bruno plays now. I mean, yeah. But I just think Mason Mount at the moment is doing so good, and we accidentally sacked Ange Postecoglou, so the joys of that. I think Mason Mount is doing too much. I think you have to play Mason Mount where you can. I think when Mason Mount gets his hands on the ball, which to be fair, he's had a problem of doing in the last 2 games, which tells you a lot about what Cunha was at. When Mason Mount gets his hands on the ball, he's able to create anything from it. I think, genuinely, if he was fit, I genuinely think Mason Mount could do in a number 10 position what Bruno does. Which is one of the reasons why I would have sold Bruno. But Mason Mount also can play where Bruno is. He's not at the moment because I don't think he's fit enough to do it. As you see, I don't think he's fit enough to do it. I genuinely think one of the problems that no one has discussed yet is I think Bruno is holding up that 8 position, not for Bruno, but for Mount. I think he's going to move Mount back into that 8 position. Which means I think Manu has something to be concerned with because I think it's Bruno, Mount, and then Manu. And if they sign someone, I think Manu's truly fucked. But here's the other problem. I also don't think Manu has played a minute of good football since he's in the entirety of the season. I don't want to be mean to Manu. It's going to make me sound like I'm being a bloody racist twit to a 21-year-old. But I don't think Manu has done a minute of good play. I think Dogu has. I think the disrespect to Dogu is a completely different conversation. I think he's being an ass to Dogu. I think he's being an ass to Manu as well, to be fair. But, you know. By the way, I had a maths assignments today. If I don't get 100%, I'll gift... I had a maths assignment today. If I don't get 100%, I'll give 200 bits. I will appreciate it galore. So, but to be honest, my friend Al, I mean this, with no jokes or anything like that. Genuinely, I hope you get 100%. Genuinely, I hope you get 100%. Obviously, I'd want to get the bits. And it'd be nice to end up having it. But genuinely, I hope you get the 100%. I know I could and probably should do more plugging for that type of crap. I mean, if you want to do anything for me, just share the fucking stream. Get more people in. If you want to do anything for me. But no. I hope it goes fantastic for you. When do you know about it? When do you know when the assessment comes through? Next Friday, fair enough. You see, the thing for me was in Ireland we have the Leaving Cert. I done the Leaving Cert twice, and I ended up getting in maths. I done higher level maths, but I ended up getting 40.26% and 40.89%. So I passed it with the skin of my teeth. So I'm kind of like H.P. Lovecraft, and I don't have the constitution for math. I love that fact. I love that fact that that's legitimately one of the reasons why he didn't teach, why he didn't learn math. He just didn't have the constitution for it. Made him feel ill. I love that fact. It's such a stupid fact. For such an abhorrent racist, it's such a stupid fact. Whose work has well outlived him and improved well beyond what he wrote. But it's such an incredible fact. H.P. Lovecraft didn't have the constitution for math. Such a beautiful fact. I think the reason Manu is playing bad is because he isn't playing. Oh, that very easily could be. That very well could be the reason, Maddie. Do you want to know my reason? Do you want to know my reason why he's not playing good? The reason why I think he's not playing... Fuck off, you, Katie. Actually, no, we have to do this.
Off is the direction you can fuck.
But to be fair, I don't have a clapping one yet. So we'll put this down for you, because that was excellently timed. This is the clap. There we go. I suppose, considering I don't have a clapping one, I'll just do this instead. That was excellently timed. I probably have a blurp enabled for it too, but I couldn't be arsed checking through all the blurps I have. My opinion is the reason why Manu isn't playing well is because Manu doesn't get on with Casemiro. He can't play with Bruno, and the only player in the midfield he can play with isn't playing well. I think the reason Manu isn't playing well is because Ugarte isn't playing well. Which means Manu isn't playing well because Ugarte isn't playing. The thing is, I think Casemiro has improved leaps and bounds from where he was last year. I would keep Casemiro as a backup defender. If we could get him on a much lower wage, I would keep Casemiro. Here's the problem with Casemiro. Casemiro is slow. Manu is fast. But Manu also isn't bulked up enough. Manu gets bounced around quite significantly. And additionally, when Manu is on the pitch with Casemiro, Manu thinks he needs to cover for Casemiro, because that was the case last year. I don't think he needs to do it as much this year. I think when Manu plays with Casemiro, Manu thinks he needs to cover for Casemiro, and as a result, he stretches himself too wide. I think if Ugarte was playing and playing good, Manu would be playing and playing good. I think, sadly, the reason Manu is performing bad is because Ugarte isn't performing good, and he's afraid to let Casemiro on his own, which is stupid, but that's my opinion. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Sexy, you're 100% right. Casemiro should never have been on 300,000 quid, but to be fair, there's a discussion that needs to be made with Casemiro, and no one is willing to talk about it. In the 6 months before Casemiro got his injury, Casemiro got 3 red cards. Casemiro had never gotten a red card in the entirety of the time that he had played before that. And in that 6 months, Casemiro was one of, if not the best, centre defensive midfielders in the league. The problem Casemiro had was the injury slowed him down, and the league is too light, and he doesn't know how to play in it, since he's afraid he's going to get sent off. And he's fucking right. And he's right. I have a legit problem with the league at the moment. I do think it's too soft. Casemiro's problem is he has to change the entirety of his game, and because he had to change the entirety of his game, he became slower, he became more intelligent, he wasn't able to get the tackles that he ended up coming in, and then the awesome passes that he was doing. I think that is why Casemiro isn't as good as he was when he joined us. I think if Casemiro could play with the fluidity that he did in Spain, I think he'd be awesome. He's not one of our best players. He's a good player, but he's not one of our best ones. Let's be fair. Like, I'm glazing him, but he's not one of our best players. Delict is better, and Mbeumo is better, Lemons is better, Cunha is better. I'd argue Euro has been better, but like he's been grand. He's been up there. He's definitely not one of the worst, which is the better aspect of that. I drink almost 8 liters of water a day through specifically these. I fill these with water, and this is Ribena, but I fill these with water and I just gulp the bastards down. So I'd be drinking 16 to 18 of these a day. So I just guzzle water. But what do you think, Sexy? What do you think, Maddie? Am I wrong? Are my opinions anyway in the right orientation of what you think? What's your opinion? This is the topic where it's 100% subjective. You can't be, well, you can, but you can't be 100% right on this particular point. At least I don't think so. I wouldn't be able to comment. I haven't watched United this season. That's fair. Like, to be fair, we're still shite. So, but again, and I'll fight this point to the death. Everyone is shite. All of the top teams' quality has decreased so much, not just this year, but in all of the years that have gone by. And as a result of which, it isn't the fact that the lower teams have gotten better, it's that the top teams have gotten so much worse. I don't actually think the Premier League is majorly competitive at the moment. I think it's just a situation that everyone is performing shite. But yeah. Also, Sexy. A more important question needs to be asked. Sorry, this is a question. This is actually. Yep. Yep. I need a transition that puts my face into the actual centerpiece so that you can end up seeing me big. I don't have it currently. This might stretch horribly and not be worth it, but screw it. Give us a second. Yeah, I'll make a background for it on the back. I'll make a background for it in a whole lot later on, but we'll just put it here for now. Sexy. How has the Crash Bandicoot save been going? There we go. Is it too important not to do that? God, I'm an asshole. I agree with you. Everyone is shite this season. No team stands out, not even the top team. Arsenal stand out. We'll see what happens in the second half of the season. You see, I don't think Arsenal stand out. I think Arsenal are a mediocre team with the best set pieces in the world, which is one of the reasons why Carlos Fernandes is doing such a good job for us, because we are actually doing incredible improvements on our set pieces. From a team that couldn't score in a month of Sundays with set pieces, we're actually doing much better with our set pieces. So we'll see what ends up happening. Don't lie, Katie. Don't lie. The sight of my beautiful face up tall and in person, viewing the entirety of the screen like this, has wet the bottom of your loins. Okay, that might have been a bit too graphic. Yeah, Benny. Maddie was saying it earlier on. I'm actually... honestly, Katie, I couldn't blame you. Honestly, Katie, I couldn't blame you. But I suppose all I can say to you is, remember, I have been stupid, sexy crack. It has been a smashing good time. Shlong go full, my friend, and as always, Pug Mahone. Yes, but the thing is, Benny, I'm not surprised they're bringing the shouts back, but I am. It is a showcase. I'm not doing it again, Al. So fair play to you, my friend. Have a fantastic evening. Actually, well, supers. Have a fantastic evening, my friend. Make sure your crack is 90. Schlonga Folan as always, Pog Mahone. Have the best night possible, my friend. But Benny, I'm like, it was one of the things that the fans were complaining about. It is good that they're bringing in something different. I hope they don't just regurgitate the shouts from FM24, because legitimately the reason why the shout system was removed is because Mike openly said on a stream that it was removed because he hated the system. So if the game... if the primary game developer is putting it in just to appease the fans and not making any improvements about it, he's a hypocrite. Which I don't mind him being a hypocrite, but he's a fucking hypocrite. Because that's literally the reason he ended up putting it down. It's also one of the reasons why he said they upgraded the engine. Because they could do more stuff with the game, which was a blatant lie, but never mind that. Oh, I know for a fact it's going to be copy and paste. But, you know. No, he is. I'm sorry. It might be what the community wants, and he can put in a system like the shout system that helps with the community ends up working. No, I understand that. No, hold on. Because I've said this before. I understand his opinion on the shouts. But he had said from the word go, we're getting rid of the shouts and replacing them with something better. I have no problem with him putting in a shout system that's different, that actually does something. I have no problem with him putting the shouts back in the way that it was, but he openly said, I hate the system, it doesn't do anything, and I don't like the way that it's implemented. You are a hypocrite, going back on your word if you do it. That doesn't mean he shouldn't do it. That doesn't mean he's wrong for doing it, but it does mean he's a fucking hypocrite. You know, it's that route, if you get me. So it depends on how you want to look at it, but he is a fucking hypocrite. I'll chastise him for it simply because he said when this game was coming out, they were going to replace it with something. That's the only reason I'm going to chastise him for it. I'm not going to chastise him for putting it back in. I'm going to chastise him for it for not replacing it in the first place. And I'm not going to praise him for putting in a system he shouldn't have replaced without replacing it. It's the same thing as I don't praise the WWE 2K games for removing a match type and then 2 years down the line putting back in that match type. I'm sorry, you don't get praise for giving me something I had before. So I'm not going to chastise him for it. I'm just saying he doesn't deserve praise for putting it back in. Really? Club America? How much? Is he out of contract? How much did they spend on him? What, they paid his release clause? Well, that's a drop and a half. Anyway, fair play to him. I don't think changing an opinion or stance, but he's not changing his opinion, though. He's not, but that's the thing. He's not changing his opinion. He still thinks the system is shite. And I think people trying to hold him to every word are the gotcha type. Maybe, but it all, I mean, that's fair. Maybe. But you said you were going to replace it with something. I don't, again, we're going around in circles, and that's fair. It's just my opinion that he shouldn't be let off, not because the shout system was removed, or not for putting the shout system back in, for initially not doing what you promised and replacing it. That's my opinion. You can be happy for putting it back in. You are a hypocrite for putting it back in, but there's nothing wrong with being a hypocrite in this case. Put it back in. It's what everyone wants. It makes the game better. You are a hypocrite for putting it back in, but there's nothing wrong in this case with being a hypocrite. Like, swallow your pride. If it sells the game, swallow your pride. That's this nature of the business. Swallow your pride and put it back in. Which, fair play, he's swallowing his pride and he's putting it back in. He is a hypocrite, though, for putting it back in, and he should be chastised for lying about not replacing it. But he's put it back in, and it'll make the game better, so happy out. That's it. That's my point on it. I'm not going to say anything else about it. If you get me. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's fair either, Benny. But hey, I'm not going to fight on it. Mossy, my friend, what's a crack-a-lacking with you? It's a pleasure to have you in. Did you have a goalkeeper called Gerard make a save? Or someone that shot called Gerard that missed it? How did the stream end up going, my friend? Anyways, I hope it was a fantastic time. I hope you had a good old time with St. Johnston, and I hope it was going great. So, in general, the save isn't going bad. We're in season 2, and sadly, we've had a couple of hiccups. But, in general, we've been doing okay. Ironically, today's stream has been our worst run of form. So, we started off the stream, or this season, with a run of losses and draws. Then we got into good form after doing a friendly that got us back into formation. By the way, if you ever find and this is something I find in all FM games, if you ever find yourself on a really bad downward spiral, put yourself up into a friendly game when you get a moment. It doesn't have to be against equal opposition, but put yourself into a friendly game. Make sure you win the fucking game, and then it'll end up helping everyone's momentum go on further for doing well. I find, anyway. But we have a draw, a loss, and a win in this stream. And we're going to continue onwards and hopefully continue goodwards. We're 4th in the league at the moment, battling to continue to stay up with Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. And we'll see how things end up going. It started really crap. Lost 5-0 to Celtic and beat Rangers. Went on to finish 3rd and get into the Europa League. Happy out. The Conference League is a good thing to end up getting into. And Celtic are a strong team anyways, even if Brendan Rodgers wasn't particularly great with them. Although it is interesting that the manager they're replacing Martin O'Neill with is, like, he's not massive named manager. Glacy or whatever his name is. What's his name? Wilfred Nancy. Nancy, that's it. Wilfred Nancy. He's not particularly well known, but it's interesting to see that he's getting the chance. So I love to see how he ends up doing. He's doing grand, Clint. He's still developing. So it hasn't gotten to January yet. So he hasn't joined us yet. But he's not going to be ending special yet. But he's doing okay. But it's a pleasure to hear that it's went well. What made you choose the Scott? What's the goal of the stream anyway, Mossy? By the way, be free to just raid and run if you need to, but I'll converse if you want to. Are you just trying to win the Scottish League? Are you trying to win the Champions League with the Scottish team? What's the goal? Ooh, I notice another individual that's in the background there that deserves a shout out as well. So if you can give this person a follow as well, a fantastic football manager streamer as well, definitely deserves to get more people watching his stuff. So give Lewick Gaming a follow as well if you can do. Fantastic streamer as well. Trying to win the UCL with a team that consists of all Johns. Oh, so all of the players are called John as well. Oh, that's an awesome challenge. So if that's the case, who would your goalkeeper be? Have you gone and actually found people called John, or have you summed people in that are John? Have you created players? Like, because obviously the best John goalkeeper would probably be John Victor, I think. And unless you can think of any. Murray Johnson. Okay, you can include that type of stuff as well. Ah. I suppose you could end up getting anyone called Rock as well, considering that's technically a Johnson. Or technically, because you're going for John and you're allowed Johnson, does that mean you can get anyone with Dick in their name? God, I'm a child. God, I'm a child. I really am a child. I really am a child. I don't know why I got such a chuckle out of that. I'm such a fucking child. But yeah, I'd say it's not easy finding all those Johns, though, is it, Mossy? Or do you have a list of all of the Johns that are potentially out there in order to add them? Is Stellar back? No. Crap. Okay. Menu for there. Well, I got a Wonder Kid from the youth system. I am allowed to change their name to John, but this one kid is called Ian Leslie. I think I might have to change his surname instead. That's not a bad idea. My gran has sense, and he ain't being called Dick Pic. Duck, do you mind if I ask? That's very random. And when you were growing up, and learning context clues and how to make a joke, do you mind if I ask?
What happened?
Sorry, no, I know, I need to read it. I missed the message, but I also really wanted to use that. Fun fact: my dad was almost called Richard Pickford. Oh yeah, actually, Dick Pick is very funny. Well, I don't want a John Leslie in the team. That comes with bad vibes. I mean, he was a fairly good presenter. If anything, it'll attract. If anything, if you have a John Leslie in the team, it'll attract the families because at least he'll have plenty of kids around him. Sorry, I shouldn't have went there. I shouldn't have went there. I shouldn't have went there. Sorry. And I've now been demonetized on every single streaming app. It was a very bad joke. Oh, hold on, Maddie. Well, to be fair, I haven't edited the rules yet, so you're fair enough. But anyone who ends up mentioning dinner or food has to put a pic and they attack the crack. But what did you end up having, my friend? I do actually need to edit the rules to add that one in. It is one of the jokes that I have of the stream, but I genuinely do actually want people to do it. Beef tips and pasta. That actually sounds really, really nice. Dog who is injured. Yeah, we'll put him over there, so. Would you recommend a chibi? Okay, so, Doc, I don't like how you went about describing the saga of Tanya the Evil. I don't like how you went about describing that. However accurate that statement is, you're trying to get me banned when I've already banned myself in this stream by stating those last 2 words of that goddamn clip. However, yes, I would recommend absolutely everyone watch the Saga of Tanya the Evil, especially considering they have just announced Season 2 of the Saga of Tanya the Evil is coming out, when it had its picture-perfect Season 1 and a bloody beautiful movie. So yes, I would recommend the blonde Adolf Mage anime. To answer your incredibly leading question. Now, this is the team we're going to go with. Minimal changes to try and get a win over Nottingham Forest. Evan Ferguson up front. Rasmus Hoyland as the attensive forward. Mount, Mbuemu, Ahmad, Bruno, Menu, Isaiah, Kwambwala, and Godot with Lamens in goal. And we'll do it. Start this match just after I come back. So just bear with me. My God, I didn't realize it was that soon. I can't wait for it. I love that series with a passion. And considering it's now, the next season is meant to be about the war between basically the US invading into the war, it should be very, very interesting. It's definitely an anime I recommend. I love the Saga of Tanya the Evil so much. Like, if you didn't love Tanya in that show, if you watched Isekai Quartet, which is something you definitely should watch in of itself as well. Bloody, she's beautiful. She's brilliant there as well. Beautiful would definitely be the wrong word. Yeah, but there's a lot of big animes getting season 2s as well next year. I like it, but it wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea. Farmer's Life in Another World is getting a season 2 as well, and I love how wholesome that game is. So, genuinely, I'd recommend people end up watching that. Ooh! Chelsea lost. Oh, Lewis! Thank you so much, my friend. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you in. How is the stream going, my friend? Fire Force as well. Yeah, I love that so much. We are the draw specialists. So today I have won one, drawn one, and lost one, so I understand. But I will say, Lewin, I find it very hard in this game to score goals in general. By the way, for anyone who ended up coming in with Lewis, I'm CraicAttackCentral. We're a variety streaming channel in here. We do We do loads of variety stuff, but mainly Football Manager 26, Football Manager in general. But we do variety stuff as well. We've been playing Path of Exile 2, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Clear Obscure Expedition 33. We've done a bit of Blasphemous, stuff like that. So if that feels like your cup of tea, please end up giving us a follow and ends up looking too. Tomity, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin'? It is a pleasure to see you. One of the greats, one of the goods. Cheers, my friend. How is life treating you? So what type of save are you doing anyway, Lewis, if you don't mind me asking? So one of the reasons why I'm doing the formation I'm doing is it does make it easier to get goals. With that being said, however, I'm also being a stubborn bastard with my team. So give me 1 second and I'll show you the tactic of my team. Okay. So, I'm doing fairly well. Happy to be at this on a Monday evening. Happy to have a couple of people come in and say hello. Again, a bit of an awkward start to the stream with the with the loss and the draw, but the win is good to end up having. Additional to that, as a Manchester United fan, I'm happy with the weekend that we ended up having, even if we were shite. And, happy that Tottenham ended up getting a loss. And there has to be questions brought on either on the Premier League or on Chelsea Football Club for the 7 red cards they have this season. I'm of the opinion that it should be on the Premier League because I think the game is becoming too soft. But hey, you have to be protective as well. But in general, I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be at it. I was in the gym earlier on today at the gym doing my strength exercise and I got my 13,000 steps in. So hurrah! So this is my formation here. I'll show you to more in 1 second. So we get through to this and then immediately do a pause if you'll let me. Yeah, you just get past the first highlight. Okay, so this is my tactic. So my stubborn ass wants to continue with as close to the Christmas tree as I can. So originally, my formation was this. But when we done this formation, we noticed significant problems with trying to score goals. So we modified it to have 2 up front instead. Now, what we should end up doing, but again, stubborn ass, is we should end up moving the likes of Mbeumo and Ahmad back down to here. So we should have them back there. That would make the system perfect. I'm being a stubborn ass and continuing to keep them here because I just want that to work. Will it work? It's been working okay. But we'd probably be better defensively if we brought them back down to here. It's just also impossible to find players that are particularly good in those positions. Will I change it to that? Maybe. Maybe starting next season. But that's the particular formation I'm doing at the moment. I could show you some of the other information if you want to as well. This is the brief team instructions if you want to have a quick gawk at them. But that's what I'm doing there. And we're not doing too bad on scoring goals as a result of it. Staying up a bit, Lewis. Need to feed the dogs in an hour. I missed the gym today due to having the youngest have the day off and taking him to the grandparents. To be fair, that's a fantastic reason to miss the gym, Lewis. Fantastic reason to miss the gym. Because at least you got to experience time with both sides of the family. The young side being your kid, obviously, and your parents, which is a fantastic experience to end up happening. If the family dynamics allowed that to happen, do it as much as humanly possible is my opinion on it. I grew up in the 90s and way more enjoyed the league. Well, look, at the end of the day, football is right. We did need to be more careful. There was insane amount of footballers on insane amount of drugs, specifically for the pain they were going through. Same thing with wrestling. You need to be extremely careful with what you're doing because people are hooked on drugs because of the injuries they ended up getting. If you can turn around and tell to me that within the last 30 years there wasn't people riddled to the brim on fucking pain medication to survive through games, I'll tell you we're a liar and spit in your face. So there is a reason to lighten the game. That's the thing about it. But at the same point in time, it has ruined the game quite a significant amount. So, wear more protective gear, give them better organizations on what they can end up doing that, have more buffering in place that allows them to do well. Don't dress up like it's American football, but do more buffering on that and make them wear a more tightly, like, not Kevlar, but a more tight bloody shirt on them if you get bumped in and stuff like that. You can end up helping out that way, but that's the reason why it's softer, Tomothy. But I agree with you, the 90s, when you look back at them, the kind of more warish footballing was definitely more interesting. You were all good, although the draws would help you sleep. I suppose that's true. Watching United would do the same, Blewett. Fullbacks are smelly poo-poo on this game. But our wide fullbacks duck. Because obviously fullbacks in the back four would be grand, and wide fullbacks in the back four have always been crap. But I'm doing wingers instead of fullbacks, where I should be doing, wide back. But in general, it's been doing grand for me, this. Oh no, it was a drop and run to work. Family meet up for the present exchange this weekend, though. We are in Ireland for Christmas. Happy out, my friend. Enjoy it. Ireland's a fantastic spot to be in for Christmas. Obviously, this is bias from me only ever experiencing Ireland for Christmas. But genuinely, they're all so friendly and there's so much drink. And gambling has ruined our game as well. Yeah. I don't know, Tomothy. Because gambling has been a thing for 50 odd years. So, again, gambling would have been riddled even 20, 30 years ago. You'd be talking back before the times of Georgie Best to take into consideration of gambling in the football game. Now, I'm not going to turn around and say you're wrong. I'm just going to say I don't know if you're right. With all that I'd end up saying there, I'd happily contend that I am wrong on that one, but still. The partner's parents are Italian, so it will be more of an Italian Christmas in Ireland. Wait a minute, that just means access to wine. I mean, that's fucking win-win. And pasta. I mean, it depends if you like pasta, I suppose. You know who has ruined the game? The media companies, the FA Cup and TNT is an absolute disgrace. I don't care. Well, yes, the idea that in England you can't watch all of the games on TV is a goddamn joke. The fact that if you legally wanted to watch every single game in England, it will cost you the guts of £1,000 is unbelievable. What the hell is Cells at? That is an unbelievable... Oh, you piss of a game. God, that bug is so annoying. I mean, I would have liked for the VAR check to come up and tell me that that goal was gone, but that's such a nice goal and such a wasted thing because of that. But yeah, because of the fact that you can't view the whole thing of it, it isn't particularly good. But the fact that more money is going into the game has caused more feasibility in the whole lot and people to have to trim down their behaviors. And then society in general becoming a bit less hard, hard man, yes, you should talk about your emotions, but no, you shouldn't be such a bleeding heart. So the fact that players have become such whiny pricks doesn't help either. Like get over yourself, basically. I know that's horrible, but still. Cheese and wine too, LOL. I have TNT, but for those who don't, it's a disgrace. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know yourself. Think he's on about more about the commercialization of gambling. I mean, yeah, there's that as well. But, here's the thing. All that the commercialization of gambling did, Duck, is it allowed for gambling companies to purchase football clubs, and as a result of which take in the place to end up putting in that way. For the actual game itself, what gambling more or less did was open the doors to the likes of the Manchester City establishment ownership, the Roman Abramovich ownership, the Newcastle ownership, that type of stuff. In my opinion, this is a topic I'm very, very happy to hold my hands up and say I'm wrong about. Yes, Santa Sports was a joke. I mean, a good idea, but a goddamn joke. Like, originally the idea of Santa Sports was we'd set up a sports channel that didn't end up costing 50 quid like Sky Sports and allow you to watch all of your stuff for a premium specifically on the Ireland networks, which was ironic because they sold the fucking thing to England. But, yeah, it was useful, but I think it was still something like 30 quid. Like, it wasn't cheap, Santa Sports. Also, score a fucking goal, guys. I don't care if we're in control of the game. We need to score a goal. Mount. 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 You see, the problem with that is, Timothy, it's beautiful to have them, but you're spending the guts of 90 quid on the goddamn things. And is the quality you're getting worth 90 quid? It's arguable. You can blame the EFL Premier League clubs and the pressure on them to lessen the importance of the FA. I'd say that has a lot to do with advertisement as well, Benny. But it also doesn't help when you have the likes of Pep Guardiola being particularly bullshit about the FA Cup and saying that it isn't important. When you have a manager of his quality coming out saying the domestic cup isn't that good. Lewis, thank you so much for the raid. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I hope, if I'm not talking to you beforehand, have the absolute best Christmas possible. Make sure you have plenty of Guinness, wine, cheese, and pasta. Make sure that your crack is 90. As always, remember that I have been stupid, sexy crack, and in those moments of sweet bliss where you need an extra bit of smile, just think of my beautiful face. And of course, Shlong Gafol and Pogue Mahone, my friend. So yeah, like, I think, ironically, I think you're right, Benny, but I also think managers like Pep, haven't helped either, because like Arsene Wenger back in the days, more Arsene Wenger than Sir Alex Ferguson, I would say. Arsene Wenger back in the day would kill for the FA Cup. What a goal by Bruno! Oh my god! Like, Arsene Wenger would kill for the FA Cup, and he'd kill you if you said it wasn't worth it. Like, I've heard stories of Arsene Wenger in external interviews shouting at people for saying that Arsenal shouldn't go for the FA Cup. Yeah, that's what that goal feels like. That was 100% the button I was going to press. I wanted to clip that goal. It's too late now. It was 100% the button I was meant to press. I wasn't meant to press the clip button. Hoyland straight through to Evan Ferguson. God, and me worried about us not scoring goals. Evan Ferguson has turned his game on. He's actually performing now. This is awesome to see. It's nice having this many striking options. Oh, you're... What do you think now, Benny? Is that fast enough, or does it need to be sped up? Because we were talking about that before, that needed to be sped up at one point in time. Ah, Christ! I might have to get injured. Is this better? I mean, not really. Oh, whatever, we'll go with it. We don't. I didn't notice that I didn't have a replacement for the prick on the bench. Well.
Oh no. Oh no. Its music is epic. And this makes my voice sound luscious and smooth. If I had a voice like this, everyone would adore me. I think this might be the best voice on voice mod, specifically because it actually works with my fucking accent. This is unbelievable. We have a voice that doesn't skip. It's a pleasure to come to you and rise against the filthy heathens. Oh my god, we got another one. Salutation, Senior Piggott. It is a pleasure to have you. How has the stream ended up going? The gentle giant himself. Salutations, my man.
How did the stream end up going, Kicker? It's a pleasure to have you in. I hope you ended up getting your victory versus your compatriot you were in. You bet him! Congratulations. I think the only thing that we can do for you, Kicker, the proper thing to do for you, is this. You were going for it too, weren't you, Benny? You were going for it too, weren't you? Yeah. So what you're basically saying is you had a performance that made you feel like this. And then you ended up facing off against Rowan and you had a performance that made you feel like this.
What happened?
God, I love them. I love them so much. I actually went to the effort of making them ones myself. I love them so much. Anyway, I got injured, so let's continue on. As you can see, we're doing actually fairly okay here. We have drawn one, lost one, and are in the process of winning a second one if Marcus Rashford would hold on to the fucking ball. I need to remember that...
Shut up.
Don't you forget,
Here he goes.
you ain't won
Ooh,
yet.
I'm scared.
These are all the fantastic addicts willing to listen to my stupid ass. Or if you're on about these clips, then Disney, the Animal Batista, and a clip from Has-Been Hotel Season 2. Yeah! Rock! Okay. So I ended up getting Joanne Gadou from Wolves. He's a youngster at Wolves that has incredibly high potential. I have Ilya Zambrani, formerly of Bournemouth, purchased from Paris Saint-Germain as a particularly good left back when we got far too good of an offer for Lissandro Martinez. We sold Lissandro Martinez because we got 60 million quid for him and we kind of had to. And we have Willy Kwambwala, former United player, in the middle of the pitch at the moment because he actually is fairly good, developed fairly well in the year that he was away and has been doing well. We are resting Lenny Yoro and Matthias de Ligt specifically for this game. But yes, he had a 25 million euro buyback clause and we needed depth in defense. Well, we didn't need it that much because we have Maguire and Luke Shaw still in the pitch, but that's it. Fucking duck and handbasket. I have the potential. I have the potential. I mean, to be fair, if United Strand was following United under my tenure, he already would have gotten his haircut. I mean, to be fair, anyone listening to Batista and his awesome team music and one of the best... God, Kick, you're pulling the piss. I don't have that many hats, guys. Yeah, the internet might explore listening to Batista. Yeah, I Walk Alone. I honestly think I Walk Alone. If not that, then Metalingus is one of the is the best entrance music I've ever heard. Now, to be fair, I am a real American is a fantastic bloody song too. God, I really need to change all of these alerts into bits. I kid. But yeah, no, I Walk Alone is genuinely brilliant. But like, legitimately, Batista's pyro is unbelievable as well. To this day, Batista has said and has gone to the events. Batista has gone since he has retired to 5 or 6. What actually is their name? Yeah, Boulevard of Broken. Oh no, I Walk Alone. Yeah, Saliva. He's actually gone to 5 or 6 Saliva gigs, and he has turned around and said that every time he has heard that song, he has felt like doing the machine gun. And to be fair to Saliva, every time he's there, point him out as well, and are very gracious. Like, it's the same thing as Alter Bridge with Edge, because like because like Alter Bridge, no, there's no way they would have been as big if they didn't get Edge, because having at the time 18 million people a week listening to your song means some people are going to end up following some of your other shit, even if you are only known for one song. Although then you have the worry of give me 1 second, because I don't want to, if I can say, yeah, then you have the worry of Our Lady of Peace problem as well if you have a wrestler that does something specifically stupid. Well, horrific. Stupid is probably being a bit too blasé about that particular segment. Yeah, you need to change them. They need to cost less. I mean, I actually don't have a problem with putting them down to less kicker. The actual reason why they're at that price is to just make sure that we're not completely nuked by them. But I only set them at that because that's what Blurp recommended them at. So I'm more than happy. And at some point in time, do need to actually go and consider the price profile for all of them. Like, I shouldn't have every single pop-up at 1,000. I should have some uniqueness in between them. But then that means I have to build an actual economy, and my arse can't be asked for that. Name me a more one-hit song than the JCB song. What JCB song are you on about? Ooh, actually, I can think of one, Duck. I can think of one. Give us a second. And for everyone else in the stream, you can blame Duck for this. Because it's being added to the queue. So, this song, Senior Duck, this song is more of a one-hit wonder than the JCB song. I apologize for nothing. I apologize for nothing. absolutely nothing. I forgot that was on. I forgot that was on a specific streaming site you can use for music. And yes, I'm going to let it play the full 3 minutes. Fuck every single one of you. Anyway. So, is it? I don't really want to boost it up too loud. Well, again, you can blame Duck for that one too. Apologies for that. Anyway, everyone knows the song. It's such a horrible song. Jesus Christ, that song. I'm sorry, Duck. I know I'm cursing your brethren, but it's such a horrible song. Oh, Ahmad's after getting injured. The joys. I wouldn't mind. He's actually been playing really well for us. I mean, I know he got injured. We took him off the bloody pitch. Duh. Okay, that's enough of that. I was willing to listen to the whole lot of it, but screw it, I can't be arsed. Anyway, since talking about I Walk Alone, we might as well end up putting that on for a bit. I'd love to go to one of their gigs. It's a shame I don't think they've been over in Ireland for quite some time. I did have a chance a couple of years ago to go to Alter Bridge on my birthday, and I should have done it, but it didn't end up fitting properly, and I didn't end up going to it, and I kind of wish I did, because it would have been a gas hell bit of time to experience one of their gigs. Something I need to do more next year is I need to actually go to more gigs of some description. I mean, you probably still have them shortlisted for information, Doc. That's probably what I ended up having them there. You have them in your manager shortlist. Although, here's a question for you who have played Football Manager 26, and maybe they've fixed it, so the question might need to be asked. But how do I view my under 18 and under 21 staff? I also badly need more coaches. I didn't realize we were that bad for coaches. But how do I view them? Like, I know you can go all staff and you can view them that way, but how do you do it in a way that isn't just complete horse crap? Also, we need a technical director? Weird. And a physio? Huh. I wonder what. The fact that we're doing so well with a half-baked staff is actually interesting. Also, this is the first Football Manager game I've had where United aren't overflowing with scouts. Yeah, Spurs bet Chelsea. Nice. Thiago's performing well for Brentford, 25 years of age. Kwambwala is banned for the next game after collecting too many yellow cards. Good thing he wasn't going to be playing in it anyway. If you go to club, okay, then at the top, go to club at the top, click on staff on the drop down. Yep. You can see which ones you can see. Okay, so you click here, and then you have your club staff here. So this is what I had. Oh, you can. Oh, okay. So I'm just. That is not that obvious, to be honest. That is not that obvious that that button is there, but fair enough. At least we know. I mean, I'm not handling, in this particular save, I'm not handling the recruitment of these particular things, but I legitimately hadn't a goddamn clue how to view it. Like, even with this, I actually don't mind this particular this screen. I don't mind it, but there should be a button in here to do it as well. Just as a, like, not whinging, but just as a general improvement. There should be a button in here to do it as well. But thank you for that, Mossy, because legitimately, I hadn't a goddamn clue how to do it. You learn something new every day. Like Cocoa Pops has 17% iron. Akioe. It's such a stupid fact. Time for my continental debut. Well, good luck, Senior Duck. A praise to you. Hats off, and hopefully it goes well. We have one more game in us tonight. We have a game versus Arsenal, and then we'll end up finishing up this particular stream itself. Unless I get a raid, at which point I always stay on a half an hour more if I get a raid. But yeah. If you look for something that was in FM24, you can't find it. So you think it's not there, then 2 seasons later you find it. Yes. But as someone pointed out to me, and to be fair, they're both right and wrong about this. Absolutely everything in the game can be found from that menu there. Absolutely everything can be found from here. If you write it in, right? And again, I don't even know how to check up the other ratings for this. If you write it in right on this, it will appear. You have to go through the effort of bothering your arse to find it, but you can find everything in this search menu here. It's not intrusive, but you can do it. So, like, there is that too, technically. You can find absolutely everything in that search bar. It does have a tendency to be a bit awkward on what you're checking, but you can do it. Was shocked how much salt is in Warburton's potato cakes. It's like 1 gram per cake. I mean, that's probably to keep them fresh enough for when you're eating them, Duck, but it is a wee bit weird. Just don't type in underrating. Thanks for that, Mossy. Thanks for that. No, I suppose I should write in... Oh God, I was going to make a joke there, but I can't remember. I can't remember any of their names, and I don't really want to search any of them up. So, some BBC broadcaster, and the joke will hold to itself, even though it is a horrible joke. If you accidentally Google it on Google, you might get a call from the popo. You know, funnily enough, in theory, they can hear everything you're going with because, like, that's listening to you every time you're going about it. So, like, anything you say is being monitored as well. Speaking of crap, by the way, Instagram recently ended up adding in a new map feature to it and didn't tell anyone about it. So if you have your location services active on Instagram, you can currently end up seeing where you are on the map. Now, the map is also completely wrong because it turned around and stated that I was in the Gulf of Guinea, which would be really, really funny if I somehow was in Ireland and then found myself in the bloody south of Africa. But, yeah. I'm keeping shut. I got someone indirectly banned temporarily. Yeah. But to be fair, even if I got indirectly banned, I wouldn't really care. I'd wait it out and come back. Just so long as all of you follow me on the Discord and follow me on X and basically end up going through to my link tree, which I need to make a command for it, or follow me on all of my socials. So at which point you can end up knowing when I go live, if I go live, and the crack shall be 90. Okay, so now we get to look at a couple of our scouting units. You'd be the only one that I'd be thinking of getting, but I'm not spending 100 million on it. Give someone who is trolling them ammunition. Yes. Yeah, I know. You told me about it before, Senior Duck. Okay, so let's get ourselves ready for this Arsenal game. Wish us a bit of luck as we go into it. Let's see if we can end the stream on a positive note, because 1 loss, 1 draw, and 3 wins would be an actual fairly good stream. I continue to say this, and it continues to not let me do it. Ooh, okay. I have always liked Matías Gonzalez. I want to see who's in Al Hilal, because if he was at least getting playtime. I didn't realize we had sold Delo to them as well. And it would heavily depend on how much he wants. If it's over 80k, we're not going in for him. Yeah, I'll have to consider it. I'll consider it off stream. I like that player, but we'll see. He's 21 and he's not that great, so. Gotta jump off. Have a good stream, mate. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much again for coming in, Mossy. Remember, I've been Stupid Sexy Craic. Thank you so much. Keep an eye for whenever I go live. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's always a pleasure to have you in here. Make sure your crack is 90. And as always, poke me home, my friend. I mean, if we can't sell him, we're just going to let him walk out the door. Hopefully he'll let us sell him. Although at this point, I don't think he will. Again, actually, here's another thing for you. Is the note system still in this game? Because I'd love to keep a note on the managers that just won't use the players I feckin' loan to them. Because I want to never loan to John Eustace again. I don't think so. Yeah. I know sweet FA people ended up using that system. I barely used it myself. But it is nice to remember the people who just don't use the players you bloody send them. Okay, so we're going to go Euro Delict Ilya. This worked well the last time, so we're going to continue with it. Ahmad is now injured, so because Ahmad is now injured,
we're going to bring Mazraoui back into the fray. If we, well, and we're going to go with that. We're not going to use Mazraoui because we're going to put Mbuemo over there, but we have him back in the fray as a substitution option, and we don't have Dogu, so we need someone in case Rashford gets injured. So who can we put there? Amir, you might end up getting a goal, my friend. But for now, Rashford over there with Mbuemo on this side, Mount there, and they performed grand there. So I think we go with that squad again. Is Sesko fit? Sesko's fit, so yeah, I think we go with this. So in we go now. Once she saves, obviously. I kind of rushed the pudding, didn't I? Okay, good. So, can we get a win out of Arsenal? Oh, wait, we have a Gatti on the bench? Okay, interesting. Then who do we put on the bench? Jaden there. We can take Maguire off. Do we have someone who can go there? Not you. Not you. You're tired. You technically can. I mean, screw it. You're going to end up coming onto the bench still for Maguire. So, okay, in we go. Come on, Arsenal, roll over the good doggos so we can tickle the belly, so to speak. Want to see them get annihilated because of my Iceland save. So you want Arsenal to beat me, or you want us to beat Arsenal? Because it would make sense for the other way, for it to be us to beat them. But still, at the same point in time, we shall see how it ends up going. And whether or not you get the chance to finish the stream with a sacked in the morning. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully the team ends up keeping itself up to its normal devices. And we end up going into this and performing good enough so that you don't need to worry about it. And we continue strong and good with staunchness and incredible strength and vigor and grace. Once she loads, of course. If she loads. Okay. So, oh my god, they have Kepa in goal? Why? What did they do to David Raya? Okay, so we have an investigation to do just before we finish the stream. Why the hell did they get rid of David Raya? William Saliba, obviously one of the best in the world. That's not surprising. Gabriel, also one of the best. And Martin Odegaard, also one of the best. Surprising that the true MLS isn't on, although look at his stats. The true MLS is bloody unbelievable as well. So, let's see how things end up going now as we go into this match. I have a sad feeling that Arsenal might end up getting their arses on this one, but we can cross our fingers on our toes and hope that it goes well. Can we do what Ruben Amorim couldn't? Can we get a victory versus Arsenal? It could be the case, Matty. It could be the case. How do you think we'll do against West Ham on Tuesday, by the way? I am, well, despite the fact that one of their better players is actually out in Lucas Paqueta, I actually think we're going to do fairly well against them. It is Tuesday, right, that we're against them, or is it Wednesday? I think it's Tuesday. Wait, is it Thursday? Oh, no, it's Thursday. How do you think we'll do against them on Thursday? Okay. Into the fray we go now. Here. In the Etihad. I mean, Lucas Paqueta being off of the team helps us a significant amount, but you're not wrong in that, I'll tell you. We are really inconsistent. And West Ham are also kind of crap. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Kind of like this first half performance so far. Only one shot so far to Arsenal in 13 minutes played. Ilya over there. Subermendi ends up getting it. Rice down to Calafiori. Straight through to Saka. This is a goal. A screams goal. Yep. Of course. Screamed goal. Screamed it. Second shot in the game, and the Arsenals end up getting a perfect play down that left-hand side. Oh, they're dominating us. Oh, that's not good. They're dominating us. Do you put in your Discord when you're live? I do. I have a section there. Called streams, and I post in the Discord every time I end up going live. So yeah, in the Craic Attack Discord there's a section called streams. Everyone should have access to that particular stream section there. So unless you mute it, it should always let you know when I go live. I also do it on X. I also do it on Blue Sky. And I do it on a smattering of other Discords as well currently. I might stop doing that though. But I do put it in the Discord whenever I go live. Yep. But effectively, I'm pretty much guaranteed currently to be live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday's a bit more suspect, but every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 p.m. GMT. They're going to score. Okay, nice. Because that's effectively how it ends up doing. I don't think I have access. I don't see it. I never get a notification when you go live. Okay, I'll have a look into that and see why that's happening, because everyone is meant to have access to it. Because it's not set as private. Permissions. Yeah, because it's not a private channel, so everyone should have access to it. It's down as everyone having access to it. So I'll have to look into that and figure out why. Might ask Sarah Benny about that. Or some other people who know Discord. But it's interesting because it's not down as a private channel. God damn it. It's going to be one of those games. No, it's just in regular rules and announcements. Yeah, Craic's regular rules and announcements. Yeah. It's weird because everyone should have access to it. I'll have a look into this off stream and see. Maybe people aren't able to have access to that. They should do, though. Because, like, that's not... That category is available to everyone, too. Yeah, every member should end up having access to that. Maybe it wasn't working before. It should end up working, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Weird. I'll look into it after this and end up seeing what happens. I've been posting into that and it didn't end up working. Fair enough. I will look into why that wasn't working after this. After this horrific loss. Yeah, but it's meant to be in the same area of where the rules is, to be fair. It's meant to be just underneath the rules. Which is weird. But hey, screw it. I'll work on it. I'll work on it off stream and figure out what's going on. Of course. And make these 3 changes anyway and hopefully get back into this game. I don't think we will, but I suppose Arsenal should remember.
Shut up.
Don't you forget,
Here he goes.
you ain't won
Ooh,
yet.
I'm scared.
Oh, no bother. I'm glad someone actually mentioned it, that they weren't seeing them, because I'll work on it. And if I need to, I'll start posting them in the general chat anyway. But I think I have it fixed now that everyone should be able to see it, so. We'll see for tomorrow's stream. But tomorrow, I'll be live again at 8:30 anyway, guaranteed. However, tomorrow, I probably won't be playing. I know you did, but I thought it was just a you thing. The fact that another person mentioned it means it was more than just you, Duck. Don't worry. I'm not forgetting that you ended up doing it. I was looking into it, and I ended up doing an edit then, and it didn't work. So it's nice to know that it's still not working. Apologies about it. I'll do my best to get it working, anyways, because it should be. The fuck am I gonna do here? We're just screwed in this game. Screwed in this game. Everyone's just performing horrible. Yep, Saka's going to score again. Shocked. Genuinely shocked. Shocked. I mean, it's not too late, but it feels like it. Weird. Okay. I need to do a reset of it so and figure out, because it's meant to be, that entire section is meant to be available to everyone. So I'll try and figure out why doesn't, because there's loads of stuff there. That's where I end up posting the posts to the blog as well. So like, it's also where Get the Rules is meant to be. So that means people weren't able to view Get Rules. We're giving away another penalty. Oh, god damn this bloody. It's in the same area where news is, and you're able to see the news because you've hearted it a couple of times. So it's weird that it's not working. Yeah, we just failed completely in this last match, because of course we did. So I'll do a wee bit of investigation afterwards and see what's causing it. But we're not getting anything out of this game, unfortunately. Oh, come on, guys. Yeah, we played horrible in this game. There's not really much you can do when literally every player on the pitch performs bad. Manu played bad, and Mbeumo played bad, Rashford played bad, Lemens played bad, Euro played bad, De Ligt played bad. God, I thought they were going to get a fourth. And that's, if we weren't out before, we're definitely out now of the, yeah, because that puts us down into what? Yeah, I think that puts us down into bloody fifth or something like that. I know there's still very tight points in between it, but that's too many losses based on the teams that are around us. God, you useless sacks of shite. Couldn't even score a consolation goal, you useless pricks. Anyway, we're fifth, which isn't the end of the world, but it is annoying. Especially considering we definitely should have ended it. Oh, sorry, we're sixth. Chelsea dropped a good bit. Now, again, topped place is only 5 points away from us, so it's not out of the realm of possibility we can get back into this. But it is a horrible, horrible, horrible loss. Anyway, my friends, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I will do a couple of bits of investigation into the Discord, and just in case, tomorrow I will put it into general chat as well, just so you end up knowing about it. But I'm going to do both to see what ends up happening, so let me know if you don't get your notification tomorrow. Doc, you'll be in first anyway, so you can do. But it has been an absolute pleasure, my friends. I will be, by the way, not this week, but I will be maybe in 2 weeks' time available to do potentially a group night if people have any interest in coming in and doing Fortnite, or coming in and doing a different game that multiplayer can end up being done on. Let me know if anyone has any options that could be played like that, if you have any interest. But all the same, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to set up a raid for everyone on Twitch. I'm going to send you over to one of the people I ended up doing the co-stream with Digital Own with. They're playing Lego Star Wars at the moment and genuinely are up for a good bit of conversation. Sound owl personality. They are absolutely galoobas about sharks. So if you don't want a good shark conversation, you can end up mentioning it about that. I'm going to send you over to Tara Shark. But with all that being said, my friends, thank you so much. Hats off to each and every one of you. It has been an absolute pleasure. Until the next time, I have been Stupid Sexy Craic. Make sure your crack is 90. Schlong go full, and remember to say you are the crack addicts and have attacked, so crack addicts attack. And as always, Pogue Mahone. Adios, amigos.